Riley, when you look at the NFL and the way the game has changed with all the new rules and you have the refs calling the game because they have to look at every single play because they're arguing points, all because of the whole Saints situation with the Rams a couple of years ago in the playoffs in the NFC title game. And then you've seen Dez Bryant score a touchdown and then completely get it taken away in the playoffs because he supposedly didn't have his feet down. Now, when you look at the different rules of the game of college and you try to compare and contrast it to the NFL, what are the similarities that you see in both sports in two different games?
I mean, the similarities I see is just, obviously the NFL has a lot of different rules. Just like you said with Dez Bryant, that was heartbreaking for me as a Cowboys
That's
fan.
why I said it. That's why I said it.
You tried to break my heart.
That's right. That's what I'm trying to do.
Yeah.
You made fun of my Jets, my friend. You made fun of my Jets. So now I am going to attack you in every kind of way.
That is a nightmare for me right there. Gosh.
Well, let me just ask you.
All right, you can agree with me. That was definitely a catch.
Oh, that was a catch. Absolutely a catch.
Okay.
They got robbed.
Okay.
Absolutely robbed.
Yeah.
But before you answer that question, I just want to ask you a question because we have a Cowboy fan over here who is a huge Cowboy fan. Now, I've asked Eric Coleman. We do an FM radio show out here in Long Island every Saturday. Me and Eric Coleman, ex-NFL player. He was a nine-year vet in the NFL, played for the Jets, played for the Lions, played for the Atlanta Falcons. I don't know if you know who he is, but I did ask him this question. And be honest, if Ezekiel Elliott played behind the same offensive line as the great Barry Sanders in the 90s, do you think Ezekiel Elliott would be as explosive and as good as Barry Sanders?
Ooh. Okay, let's see. The same line as Barry Sanders?
Yes.
I mean, I think Ezekiel Elliott's a fantastic running back. So
Absolutely.
I think regardless if he had the New York Jets O-line or the Cowboys O-line, he'd still run for 1,200 yards.
But would he have done it like Barry Sanders?
I don't think so.
No, finally, I was waiting because
you're comparing him to a.
I didn't compare him to nothing. I didn't say anything. It wasn't me.
Not like Barry Sanders. No, I can't. No.
All right. So finally, you have some kind of sense. There is a Cowboy fan out there that has some kind of sense to him. I mean, for anybody to think that Ezekiel Elliott would have played behind that bad offensive line and ran as many yards and as dominant as Barry Sanders was in the time that he was dominant, I think people would be on drugs even trying to compare them. And I love Ezekiel Elliott. I've been an Ezekiel Elliott fan since he played for Ohio State in high school football. Yeah. So I know a lot about Zeke. Know a lot. But go ahead. Answer the last question. I'm sorry.
I mean, I think there's a lot of similarities between NFL and the college sports world, but the biggest difference is for in college, I mean, they got one more step to reach their ultimate goal. You know? I mean, they're trying to get that paycheck. So that's what I think it sets apart between the NFL and college. I mean, once you hit NFL, you've hit the top of the totem pole. You're getting your money. You've reached your ultimate goal growing up as a kid. You're there. Now you just got to sustain that goal, sustain your work ethic, all that. For college, that is the ultimate grind between the NFL and the college. That's what I would have to say for that.
Is there any particular opponent, both in your conference in the Mountain West and also across the college football landscape, maybe a big name team? Is there any opponent you're most looking forward to playing and why?
Well, if we have a season, I'd love to play Boise State. And just because they beat us last year, they beat us the year before that. Every time we've gone to the Mountain West Championship, they beat us. So it's our biggest rivalry, them. And whenever people think of Hawaiian football, I mean, they're like, oh yeah, they're all right, you know. They're at their own island. They're not really that good of a team. But how about you play us?
Yeah, I like your confidence.
I always like to say.
I like your confidence, man, Riley. Riley, if you actually came to Long Island and hung out with me and you would get along because I'm a very confident guy too,
That's good. You gotta have self-confidence.
I don't.
That's what makes you in the world. Come on.
Okay. Well, I can't. I still can't. When I was a kid, I could probably run a 40 and 4.6. I can't even do that now. I'm 38 years old. I'm in good shape. Don't get me wrong. I'm in very, very good shape. But I don't know if I can run a 40 and 4.6, man. I'm not. I'm not 17 like you or 18 like you, and I can run like a deer. Okay, but. My question to you, when you look at the different styles of game and you look at it and you try to compare and contrast a player in the NFL to the way your style and your game, is there a particular player that stands out to you that you can compare your style of game to them?
I would definitely say DeAndre Hopkins, just because, and Julio Jones. Julio Jones, too. I mean, yes, those two are arguably. I think DeAndre Hopkins is the best receiver in the NFL.
He is right now,
solely because of his competitiveness to get the ball. That's why I think it. His mindset is the same as mine. Is you're going against me, I'm catching the ball, and there's nothing you can do to stop me. That's how I see. That's why I see him when he runs the route. That's why I see him whenever they throw the jump balls to him in the end zone. He's catching the ball regardless of the situation. That's why I think. That's why I think I'm just like him. He has the same mindset as me when I watch him play.
Are you sure it's not because he's one of the best players in the league? Come on, man. I don't know.
No.
I don't know, Riley. You're starting to really scare me now. You really are.
No.
I love the confidence.
I solely think it's because of his competitive nature. And if you listen to him mic'd up, you'll hear it. He literally says it word for word. I'm the best in the game.
Well, I love his story, and if you know the story about his mom and her going blind when he was a kid, and really everything behind who he is as a person, and he's a special player. I was very surprised that the Texans decided to trade him for a second and a fourth round draft pick.
I was like, what is going on?
Well, maybe because he was good friends with you, Riley, and they just wanted to get rid of him. Well,
I wish.
He played for the Texans in Texas over there, right by your beloved Dallas Cowboys.
Oh, I love my Cowboys. Come on now.
I know you do.
Don't bring it up.
I know you do.
Maybe they wanted to put him closer to Hawaii to compensate for Riley going to Hawaii.
Maybe.
Speaking of Hawaii, Riley, in terms of the very unique climate and geography of Hawaii, how do you think that will affect the game of football as a whole in terms of for opposing teams and also for you guys training and playing in the game? Do you think it'll be something unique that is very different from the continental U.S.?
No, it's definitely unique. I mean, year round, it's like 85, sunny. I mean, there's not even a cloud in the sky. It's paradise. Literally, it's paradise. Every single day it gets better and better out here. But for the weather, I mean, I think it's definitely beneficial for us, and it also has some negatives. For us, I mean, really we're going to be practicing in the heat, getting in good shape, getting prepared. But whenever we got to go play some teams up north where it gets kind of cold, and we got that 8-hour flight. That's also another thing. Is every game we got to go to, we got to haul. We got a nice flight ahead of us. So I think it's a good thing that we have this good weather, but it also can be a bad thing whenever we have to go play somewhere cold, because some of the locals here are not really used to that atmosphere, and they're not used to getting hit, or catching the ball when it's cold, playing in the rain. Some of those things don't happen here. It's not often that it rains here. So it's very different, but it has a lot of positives, but a lot of negatives too.
We are talking to Hawaii football wide receiver recruit Riley Wilson, and definitely very soft-spoken Riley Wilson. Oh, man. Yeah. Well, Riley, when you look at the game of football, and I don't know if you played other sports in high school, were you good at any other sport besides football in high school?
Well, you're from Long Island, right?
Yes. Mm-hmm.
Oh, then you definitely know what lacrosse is.
Of course I know, man. Lacrosse. Yeah. Lacrosse is, first of all, this is the homeland. Long Island is the homeland for lacrosse. Let's get it. Don't get it twisted over there, buddy.
It's pretty. You say it's pretty big there, huh?
It's huge. It's huge over here. Mm-hmm.
So imagine that times 10. That's how Texas high school football is.
So let me get this straight. You didn't play any other sport besides football?
I played lacrosse and basketball.
And which, out of all the sports, which really stood out to you the most as far as your talent is concerned?
What'd you say? You broke up there.
I said, which one stood out the most as far as your talent is concerned?
Ooh, definitely football.
Really? Out of all the sports? You just were speaking so highly of your lacrosse over there in Texas, and now all of a sudden you just kind of pitched it over there to football. I'm trying, man. I'm trying to get you, man. I mean, you're going to be Dougieing. You better be Dougieing, because if there is a season...
I'm already Dougieing right now. I'm already practicing.
All right, remember that, because when you hear...
Trust me, I'm not forgetting that. Every morning I'm going to wake up and be like, hey, listen, I got to get my Dougie down for that first touchdown. I got to get it down.
All right, I'm telling you, man.
That's going to be the best Dougie you've ever seen.
Who's your roommate?
I'm telling you.
Who's your roommate?
I got 2 roommates.
Okay, who are they?
Jake Farrell and Dayton Tony.
And they're on your team, right?
Yes, sir.
Well,
2 Texas boys and 1's from Arizona.
So let me ask you this question. What do you think they're going to be doing at night when you're trying to Dougie?
Well, I'm going to make them hold the camera so I can shoot it to y'all so y'all can post it.
Well,
and then I don't know what they'll be doing. Hopefully they're doing the right thing. Hopefully they're Dougieing with me. I'll make them Dougie with me.
Well, we know you're from south. We know you're from down south in Texas because you say y'all. We don't use that. We don't use that over here in Long Island. So we know you're Southern, man.
That gives it away 100%. I've been saying that down here, and they're like, "What is y'all?" And I'm like, "Oh, aloha." That's all I say.
With all the Hawaii guests we
like,
had.
That's better. They're like, "That's better." I'm like, "Yeah, there you go."
Well, we've been getting a lot of Hawaiian guests.
I think we've had 3 in the last 3 weeks or something.
We had Maki from the UFC.
Oh, I forgot about that. So it's 4. We had the baseball coach. We had a baseball player that was from Hawaii who's in the Yankees organization, and now we have you. And like you were saying, you had one on your MMA show too. I forgot about.
Yeah,
So we've had 4 in the last 3 weeks. Absolutely nuts.
Wow.